So thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Before you watch this episode, this should be an interesting one, I think. I thought it was interesting. But before you do, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. If you don't hit the like, definitely hit the subscribe. I'll wait. All right, hit that subscribe button. And if you can think of anything else that I may have forgotten, which I probably did because I always do, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. All right, so thank you for watching. All right, so today I want to talk about lessons that I learned from shooting my first short film. So I've been looking at it over and over and over again, and I've been in the editing room, blah, 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 for a while, and it's basically done. But I don't really like exactly what happened for several reasons. And so this was my first attempt at it. I had a bit of help, but it was my first attempt at it. And I wanted to talk about 5 things that I learned from shooting my first film. As you know, when you first start, there's going to be some, it's going to be terrible. But nobody likes to make terrible. Everybody thinks that they can make a James Cameron film right off the bat, but you can't. You start somewhere and you improve from there. I'm just starting, and I'm old, but got to start somewhere. So let's go into it. 5 things that I learned from shooting my first short film. All right, tip number 1, and I learned this the hard way. Plan your shots in advance. They have lots of tools out there for storyboarding and that kind of thing, but plan your shots out, because you need to know what's important that you need to get and what's not important that you don't need to get that you can get if you have time or if things go right or that kind of thing, because things are going to go wrong. That's just how you got to problem solve, and you need to know what's important to get and what's not important to get. For us, it was weather. We thought we were going to have a few hours, a whole day, but we ended only having a couple hours because the rain impacted what we could do and what we couldn't do, because we were indie crew, so we didn't have all the different equipment things to cover up the cameras and that kind of thing. We were dealing with children as our actors, so there's that as well. So I would say plan your shots in advance so you can always refer back to it to see what you need to get and what you don't need to get. Even though we had an idea in our head and everything, we learned the hard way. If we had it written down or drawn out, we could have seen what we needed to get and where we needed our placement and that kind of thing. So plan your shots in advance. Number 2, use a tripod whenever you can. So I was trying to do a couple shots where we tracked the people and did a couple trick shot things in there, which still came off okay, but would have come off a lot better if we had just used a tripod, because it would have been stable and we would know where our marks are because we have the tripod sitting in the same exact location. So we had our tripod sitting over there, and for some reason, like I said, because we were under pressure, time, had paid actors, that kind of thing, we just didn't have the time, and I don't know why we didn't do this. We had 3 tripods sitting over on the side, and we did not use a single one, and it would have definitely come in handy because it helps you frame your shots a lot better if you can have that still. Now, you do have the tracking and moving shots, but it would definitely have helped a lot better. So I would say use a tripod whenever you can to stabilize your shots. Number 3 is one that we kind of did somewhat, we got forced to. That's prioritizing your shots. Know what you need to take first, what's most important that you have to get right, and then those that you can play with a little bit in the editing room. And we kind of did that, but we were forced to. This again comes with the problem solving, the things happen. So for us, what happened was the rain started coming down, and so we were sitting under in the shed, and we were like, man, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? I was like, well, we need to get the most important shot first of the ones that we haven't taken. So we had to go out and get that, plan that, block that, and then shoot that, and then get the other shots after that. So I would say, again, this comes with my first point. If you plan everything out, you already know what the most important shots are that you need to get, and so you'll get those first. Number 4 is definitely one that I should have done. It's definitely meeting with your crew, which includes the actors, beforehand to give them your vision. They need to know what your vision is so that when you get out there, you're all on the same page. I played it pretty close to the vest, and that was a mistake because they didn't know what was expected of them, the actors, and my DP or my AD, he did not know what was expected. After watching the first cut of the film, he was like, oh, I see what your vision was. But I should have given him my vision from the very get-go. And I really think that the film suffered because of that. And number 5 is be ready to change something at a moment's notice. You know, you hear a lot of directors talking about directing is just constant problem solving, especially when you're an indie, independent, zero budget filmmaker. There are going to be problems that you're going to have to solve. So be flexible. That comes with the planning. If you plan in advance, you kind of know what you need to get and what you don't need to get, and you can have that flexibility to move things and change things around whenever you need to. So that's what I would say. I would say be ready, be nimble, be you're indie, you're independent, which means that you can move a little bit quicker. So don't get so rigid in that one vision that you can't make changes that could save the film. I think we did a couple of those, although like I said, I don't think that it's very good, but it's okay for the first and you move forward from there. So thanks for listening, and those are my 5 things that I learned from shooting my first film.
Like the video.
Comment.
I subscribe to the channel, so you should too.
If you want good food, subscribe. You heard them people. Like, comment, subscribe.